All right, this video for chapter 8 on photosynthesis is just covering the idea of carbon fixation and why it's actually important. So carbon fixation, again, is taking carbon dioxide in the form that is a gas. This is often called inorganic form of carbon, so inorganic. And that's just because it's not in a living organism. This form is then converted through the process of photosynthesis into the carbon molecule glucose. So C6H12O6. So it takes 6 molecules of carbon dioxide to end up making 1 molecule of glucose. So we're taking carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. And that is really important because carbon dioxide is the #1 greenhouse gas. So that means in the atmosphere, it is the molecule that has the highest heat capacity, greenhouse gas. So it's able to absorb the most heat of any molecule in the atmosphere. And that's primarily because it's the most abundant. So it's the most abundant, okay? And now we're seeing this increase further. And it's primarily because of humans. So humans are increasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So the question is, how are humans doing that, right? And why is it bad? Well, humans are doing it primarily by burning fossil fuels. So if you burn a fossil fuel, fuel, you are creating carbon dioxide. And so an example, I'm just going to go up here in the corner, would be if you have, say, methane, which is a fossil fuel. It's the #1 gas in natural gas. You burn that on your stove if you have natural gas with oxygen. Your byproduct is carbon dioxide. Okay? And this is going to occur for any time that you burn a fossil fuel. If you're burning gasoline in your car, if you're flying in an airplane and it's burning fuel, if you're burning kerosene, you're creating carbon dioxide as a byproduct. So the more we burn oil, okay, gasoline, right, coal, all of those are going to be increasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And all of those are basically going to increase the temperature of the planet. So even though this isn't a major point in the chapter, it is a major point globally today. Probably the biggest issue that's facing our planet today, right, is global warming and this increase in temperature. And it is clear that it is driven by burning fossil fuels. So this is the #1 reason that we are seeing an increase in the temperature today on the planet, resulting in more storms and all of the other fires and things like that. So to the extent that you can be conscious of how much carbon dioxide you're producing, you can have an impact that might reduce the overall rate at which this is increasing. Okay. Photorespiration. Photorespiration is a process that competes with photosynthesis. It's bad for plants. So this is bad. Okay. And the reason that this occurs is in the process of carbon fixation, carbon dioxide is fixed with Rubisco, RUBP, in the Calvin cycle. And the enzyme that does this is called Rubisco. Okay. So this enzyme actually can catalyze 2 different reactions. It can catalyze Rubisco, I forgot the C. It can catalyze a reaction with carbon dioxide, which ultimately results in glucose, which is great, right? We want glucose, so we want sugar. So that's perfect, yay, right? Yay. But what happens is if there's no carbon dioxide or low carbon dioxide, and this occurs in the leaf of a plant when they shut their stomata so they don't lose water, the holes shut They use all the carbon dioxide up and they're left with oxygen. So then what Rubisco will do is it will actually combine RUBP, okay, with, instead of carbon dioxide, it's going to combine it with oxygen. And this is very bad because there's just so much oxygen in the environment. It will catalyze this reaction. And ultimately what will happen is it's going to break down. It actually creates some toxic byproducts and it recreates carbon dioxide. So the CO2 is lost, right? So you have to start over. So you got to start over. So there's quite a bit of energy in this process and no sugar is made. So you start with carbon dioxide in another process, it's pulled out of RUBP and it actually diffuses out of the cell. So this can kill plants, and plants have evolved many adaptations to try to adapt and avoid photorespiration. And that will be in the next video.